You can't stop Stephon Diggs.
Now, Stephon Diggs opens up to Steve Smith Sr. in an exclusive Saturday sit-down.
I want to be playing at the top of my game at all times, and if I'm not, you let me know.
And tonight, the NFL's top team battles the Panthers on the frozen tundra. Will Rodgers and the Pack hang on to home field with the Saints still hot on their heels? That's all ahead on NFL Game Day Kickoff, presented by Expedia. Welcome to NFL Game Day Kickoff, presented by Expedia.
Hello, everybody. Grab your best sweatpants and settle in. It's a full day of football here on NFL Network. Bills and Broncos up first. But pace yourselves because Panthers-Packers is coming up tonight. I'm Colleen Wolfe taking you through it all. Steve Smith Sr., Joe Thomas, and Michael Irvin. They're about to pull up a seat and join me as well. So let's get it going here, starting with the Bills. Last week against Pittsburgh, Buffalo corner Taron Johnson took this Big Ben pick straight to the house. Later, Josh Allen hit Stephon Diggs for a 19-yard touchdown to extend the Bills' lead, and Buffalo improved to 6-1 in their last 7. So coming off that impressive win over the Steelers, the Bills are 10-3, leading the AFC East by a couple games over the Dolphins. With a win today or a Miami loss tomorrow against the Pats, Buffalo clinches their first AFC East title since Farside was running back in '95. And now we're off and running with Steve Smith Sr., Joe Thomas, and Michael Irvin. Hope you guys stretched, you're staying hydrated. We got a big day ahead of us, so no cramping here. Joe, you're up first. The Chiefs, currently the best in show in the AFC. Are the Bills the biggest threat to them?
Didn't expect that Far Side reference off the top, but nice job, Colleen. No, it's actually the Titans because they can play that keep-away game with that dominant rushing attack and that ball control offense. They've got the number 2 rushing attack in the NFL. That can actually limit Patrick Mahomes in the only effective way known to mankind, and that's by keeping him on the bench. Additionally, for the Titans, they're really good at limiting turnovers. They're number 1 in the NFL in fewest turnovers with their offense. So that's another way to keep the ball out of Patrick Mahomes' hands. So you put that ball control offense together with no turnovers on the day, and the Titans would still lose to the Chiefs, but at least they'd be able to keep it closer than any other team in the AFC.
I don't agree with that, Joe. You are absolutely right with the Tennessee Titans on their offense. But however, their defense cannot stop a Buffalo Bills team's anchored by Josh Allen. Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs' production and how they are in sync is unmeasurable. Probably the only people we can say is maybe Green Bay. But Josh Allen, his 3rd year, is playing really, really well. Yes, their run game is productive. Ranked 22nd. It's not great, but it works for them. And also their defense gives people nightmares offensively. Unlike your Tennessee Titans, my defense for the Buffalo Bills is anchored in, and they produce points as well if a Buffalo Bills offense kind of sputters through the game at times, and it happens.
We saw the Bills and the Chiefs back in Week 6 when it was rescheduled on a Monday. The Chiefs ran all over the Bills, but this Bills team, they keep getting better each and every week. We'll see Bills and Chiefs, 2 of the top teams in the AFC. Over in the NFC, it feels like Aaron Rodgers, it's his world, and right now we're just all kind of living in it. Green Bay currently the 1 seed at 10-3. And remember, that top spot is the only one that gets a bye this year. The Saints are sitting at 2 because of their head-to-head loss to the Packers earlier this year, and the Rams at 3 with a chance to clinch tomorrow with a win over the Jets. So Aaron Rodgers has never played an NFC Championship game at Lambeau. How important is home field advantage even without a full stadium because you have that bye for the Packers?
Well, first, let me just say for all that are watching, this is my first time doing this from my hotel room. So this chair is a little different than the chairs that I'm usually on. So,
You're doing great.
We all have to adjust and deal with things in this COVID situation. But let me tell you, there is no team in the NFL that benefits more from having the home field advantage than the Green Bay Packers, especially when you look at the top contenders in the NFC. Green Bay, I know, Joe, I know you gave us that gibberish, I don't know what you were saying, mess about teams that play in the cold last week. It was a bunch of mess, Joe. Joe, when you are from Tampa or play in a dome in New Orleans, or you play in a great place like where I am now in L.A., weather is always perfect. The Rams, the Saints, and the Buccaneers. You don't want to go see that cold. You do not want to go see that cold. That's why for the Green Bay Packers, it's the biggest thing in the world.
Hey, I don't trust anybody who comes to us live from the set of the Newlywed Game. So whatever you just said, I didn't hear any of it. I just was looking at that background.
How's the chair treating you? The chair looks really comfy, Irv. Like, I'm kind of jealous.
Yeah, that was a pretty good one right there, Joe. I got to give it to you. But this is the set they gave me.
The last time I checked, it looks like it's about a high of 36 degrees in Green Bay today.
Right.
That sounds like perfect football weather to me. A little nicer, though, in Denver today. There's Drew Lock. We'll see how he does in the AFC West. Got the week started for us on Thursday, including Melvin Gordon's former team, the Chargers. There going up against the Raiders. Here's how it all unfolded in Vegas. Justin Herbert. There's Derek Carr. He got hurt early in this game. Justin Herbert led his second game-winning drive, back-to-back weeks here for them to win it 30-27. So the playoff picture presented here by Expedia stayed largely the same in the AFC, with the Raiders losing the game. The Raiders' chances of grabbing a wild-card spot continue to fade at this point. The Browns are your 5 seed right now at 9-4, followed by the Colts with the same record, and then the Dolphins there at 8-5. The Ravens currently on the outside looking in, but have a decent schedule here to close out the season. Joe, as our former Cleveland Brown here, which of those wild card teams is about to go on a serious playoff run?
Well, I'm happily biased here, Colleen, but it's actually the Cleveland Browns because they can play any type of game with anybody in the AFC. And they proved it a couple weeks ago when they blew out a really good Tennessee Titans team, who we all thought was going to be kind of a ground and pound game. But then they did it again on Monday Night Football last week against the Ravens, where they actually were behind by a couple scores. Baker Mayfield threw over 40 times, brought him back, gave him the lead. And they kind of showed that they can play any game with anybody. It doesn't have to just revolve around their running game, but they can actually play a high-scoring shootout as well. And so this Cleveland Browns team is balanced, and playoff football is all about matchups. And I think the Cleveland Browns match up really well against anybody because of how balanced they are right now at this point in the season.
I hate to agree with you, Joe, but you are absolutely right. They have the right combination. They are gelling well at the right time. Also, too, I know this says at the bottom which team can go on a playoff run. I hate to say it, too, but my bias Baltimore Ravens team, I'm not sure if they don't make the playoffs, it's going to be a more impact on them of what they did not do. They have a lot of key players on that team that are older, have a lot of tread on their tires, that they brought in and made acquisitions for the now movement. And unfortunately, they're not making any headway like I hate to say it, I can't even talk like the Browns, because the Browns are just playing fantastic football. Baker Mayfield is throwing the ball very accurate, moving around the pocket, and they're running the ball very well. The only thing I'm worried about is their secondary. They don't have their starters, but their backups are showing why they're backups.
This is, for me, this week has been the most amazing thing in this sense. I don't know, been around football for quite a while. I don't think I've ever seen a team get so much credit for losing as the Cleveland Browns got this week. I mean, they got so much credit for losing. I do like the Browns, and I certainly concur with a lot of things you guys said on them moving forward. And you've gotten back-to-back good weeks out of Baker Mayfield. But let's be real here. I do believe also that the Colts are one of the teams that may be able to give these Chiefs some problems because they're having a nice men. Steve, what you were talking about, the Ravens are mending those youth and veterans together well. Well, the Colts are doing it with T.Y. Hilton and Michael Pittman. And then that young boy, Jonathan Taylor, running the ball like he's running the ball right now. And the Colts have that fast defense that likes to take the ball away, that can come up and they can get pressure with the front four and drop back and play coverage with the bottom seven. So that's what I think the Colts are also in that race. And again, Well, that's why I wore brown. I wore brown today because the Cleveland Browns, they look so good. I ain't never seen a
That's
team
what I was about to say, because your suits usually talk to your team.
I'm just saying, I'm down. I got on the brown. I'm just saying.
Those Colts, though, Jonathan Taylor, he's looking good. He's getting hot at just the right time. But Week 16, they have to play the Steelers, so that's going to be an interesting game to watch. These last 3 weeks coming up big for those teams to continue their push for the playoffs. But there's never actually ever a time that comes for us to stop pushing for the conversations and, more importantly, the actions that move us toward a more equal and just tomorrow. Joe, we talked about the events that unfolded around the country this entire summer, and it caused you to really reflect on your NFL experience and society as a whole.
Yeah, it did, Colleen. And through that reflection on my life, I thought it was important for me to put pen to paper on some of my thoughts and try to make a call for action to help end racism in this country once and for all.